one of America's leading anti-Semites, the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, the successor to Henry Ford in his Jew hate, Elon Musk, has decided to sue Media Matters for daring to tell the American people the truth about X, formerly Twitter, our greatest global public sewer, the main conveyance of Jew hate around the world, a place where conspiracy theories go untrammeled, where division, hatred, all of it flows in the name of free speech, at least according to Elon Musk and his indifferent CEO, Linda Yaccarino, formerly of NBC Universal, where staggeringly, just 8 short months ago, to much fanfare, it was announced that Linda Yaccarino would be leading a global effort to combat anti-Semitism. I guess when NBC Universal made the announcement, they wouldn't have imagined that within a year, she would have switched sides and joined the anti-Semites in their crusade of hate and their bullying lawsuits against an organization that simply reports fact, tells the truth, advances media clips that show what some of the most powerful people in the world say. Unlike X, Media Matters doesn't make things up. Unlike X, Media Matters does not advance conspiracies. What Media Matters did is operate under one of the greatest advances in the history of human civilization, the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, which gives them full right in the public sphere to say whatever they want. Elon Musk doesn't get a vote on that. The world's richest man, as it turns out, is a thin-skinned dilettante, brittle, broken, but rich enough to file his, quote, thermonuclear lawsuit, end quote, which is a garbage lawsuit, frivolous, nonsensical, and it will be thrown out of court. But that's not what should scare average Americans. What should scare average Americans is the confluence between the world's richest man, America's leading anti-Semite, his public sewer, and America's most noxious politicians, some of the most corrupt officials in America, like the Attorney General of the state of Missouri, and of course, the incomparably corrupt Ken Paxton of the state of Texas. Growing up in New Jersey, appreciating what state was America's most corrupt was an easy thing because it was the state I grew up in. It was New Jersey. And of course, with New York and Rhode Island close by, the corruption capital of America always seemed to me to reside in the Northeast. But of course, that wasn't fair to states like Louisiana, which were almost as equally corrupt as New Jersey. You have Mississippi, where Governor Tate Reeves is one of the most corrupt officials in the country, but really nothing, not even Menendez in New Jersey, whose clothes were lined with cash and gold bars, bullion was found in his closet. None of these people can compete with Ken Paxton of Texas. He is the quintessential definition of what used to be known as a little Eichmann. A man, if he was given the chance, would gladly throw on the black uniform and start killing, start sending people to concentration camps. This is perfectly clear in his response to Elon Musk's lawsuit. And this is important to understand. When Adolf Hitler took power in Germany, it wasn't Hitler who mandated that the German army swear an oath to the Führer. It was, in fact, the German army that was one of the most skeptical institutions in the country that offered to replace their constitutional oath with the Führer oath to gain favor. Because they were outside of the leader's favor, they over-indexed. The institution wanted to get in line. And so what you're seeing with the Missouri Attorney General, with Ken Paxton, is a rush of extremist Republican lawmakers to curry favor with the richest man in the world, hoping for his riches, hoping for his favor, hoping for attention on his sewer. X, if it is a public square, is Bavaria in 1938, shortly before the Kristallnacht. It is a place of menace and malice. And it is a place where Elon Musk has been fully exposed for who he is and what his platform has become. It's all about the money, like always. Now, the CEO, Linda Yaccarino, the disgraced former ad executive from NBCU, has hired her son to go to Republican campaigns and try to get them to invest on the basis of anti-Semitic noxiousness. The goal is $100 million in American money in campaign advertising. To put the unrealistic goal into perspective, in 2018, Twitter was able to accrue $3 million in revenue from political advertising. As somebody who knows a lot about political advertising, let me be the first to tell Elon Musk, he won't get to 4 million in total spending. It's one of the most inefficient platforms that has ever been for communicating a political message. There is nobody to convince of anything on Twitter at all. Like I said, it's a sewer. And there's only one thing that flows through a sewer. And that's the water that Elon Musk swims in, with his disgrace, his anti-Semitism, and his crooked gaggle of profiteers who want to make as much money as they can spreading hate at a time of global menace, at a time of war, global division, chaos, and danger. The public officials who have jumped on Elon Musk's bandwagon are abusing their authority and abusing their power. But what they are demonstrating is the ease with which some of America's most corrupt officials will use the power of the state gladly to punish critics, to silence dissent, to protect the whims of the powerful. The Attorney General of Texas is making a declarative statement with his odious investigation. What he's saying is, if you criticize the anti-Semite Musk, I will criminally investigate you. And he's got the Attorney General of Missouri signed on with the project as well. Donald Trump is quite clear. If he becomes president, concentration camps are opening from sea to shining sea. And they're going to be filled with millions and millions of brown-skinned people who will be herded like cattle for deportation. And of course, there will be a corner of that camp for political prisoners, the people that Donald Trump has promised to lock up. Who knows how much violence will be done when Donald Trump orders the American military, like he said, onto the streets and tries to turn it against the American people? Will the officer corps, the United States Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Space Force, the Coast Guard, will they tolerate it? Will they follow illegal orders? Will they do a version of what Ken Paxton is doing? Will they line up behind their political leader and do violence to the people in a nation that is a government of the people, by the people, for the people? Will they burn down the American Constitution? We're watching all of this play out in a microcosm. We're seeing what happens. Media Matters acted as an important journalistic institution. They acted as members of the media. They acted under the protections of the First Amendment. They shined light into the dark corner. And what they found were a lot of Nazis. Nazis all over Elon Musk's platform, all over Linda Yaccarino's platform. And when they reported it, what did Elon do? Did he try to clean up his cesspool? Did he try to cleanse his sewer? No. What the anti-Semite did was further try to throttle free speech in the name of free speech. Because in Elon Musk's sick world, the only speech that matters is his and the Nazis on his sick platform, which is going down, by the way, and none too soon. Here's the thing. The American people are good. And the American people are decent. Though the people at the top of America's society at this moment are not, does not change the underlying fact. The United States has gone through periods like this before. But in the end, America prevails. Because at the core, the United States is the greatest idea in the history of the world. It is the before and after moment in world history. It marks the beginning of a new epoch in the history of humanity. That history is the story of liberty, tolerance, and freedom. It's not a straight line. There have been terrible injustices, terrible degradations that have taken place in this country. But in the end, as Martin Luther King pointed out, the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice. This is why it makes sense to be short on Elon Musk, his companies, and his rancidity. He has shown us all who he is, and there's nothing much more to learn. He is Trump in a C-suite, just as brittle, just as broken, just as sick, just as dirty, horrendous. But in the end, at this moment, it's important to remember this as we approach Thanksgiving in this country, where we have much to be thankful for. The sick bromides launched by Elon Musk, his emulation of the sick postings of the Tree of Life synagogue shooter, are not an indictment on the American character. They're an indictment on Elon Musk's character, and certainly on Linda Yaccarino's. America is so much bigger than these people, so much better. Do yourself a favor this Thanksgiving. Put your phone down, go outside, watch a game, and stay off Twitter, because it sucks and it's full of anti-Semites.